Hi everybody, we're going to open the meeting, the public hearing for the town warrant. Start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Introductions for the FinCom members. To my right, Dave Asnavorian, the Vice Chair. To my left, far left, Rob Kuzmersky, the Clerk, and member Tom Cook. To my right, again, Paul McDermott, and Melissa Johnson, the Recording Secretary. I'll ask the committee for a motion to waive the reading of the articles.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll ask the sponsor of the article to speak to it. I'll open the questions first to the public, then from the Finance Committee. And for the speakers, the protocol will be please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. If there are others standing, we'll ask them to come forward with their question, and then we'll have an opportunity to come back. I'll call for a vote from FinCom at the conclusion of the discussion of the article. And I don't think we'll need it, but we'll observe an 11 p.m. curfew. And as always, I'll ask everyone to be respectful of one another. And with that, we have the first article.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Article 1 of the special town meeting seeks to appropriate $1,137,871 to various fiscal year 2016 budgets. The article is a raise and appropriate article since we have additional revenue that we've identified now that the fiscal year has started. We have additional revenue from state aid. Now that the Commonwealth has finalized their budget process, state aid came in higher than projected. Our local revenues at the end of June 30th closed higher than I had projected, which allowed me to increase revenues for the fiscal year 2016. And our new growth in the community was certified higher than I had projected. I had projected $800,000. It came in closer to, I believe, $1.6 million. So our revenue projections can be increased because we had a good close to the fiscal year. Finances look good. So we're able to raise and appropriate $1,137,000. The money is going to various budgets throughout the town. The first is under school budget salaries, $18,607. Will be used to hire a special education aide as part of a requirement in an IEP. School operating budget, the increase of $102,532 will fund some areas of school operating budget, such as maintenance agreements, legal expenses, some other general maintenance and operating areas. Capital outlay for the school of $200,000 will be used to purchase textbooks for a new math series. This item is an item that was important to the school department this year, as well as myself when we talked about it, because it allows us to start budgeting within the school budget for textbooks on a yearly basis for the school department for the capital outlay. Finally, health insurance, $360,567. That increase in their budget is due to the shifting of health insurance costs from two funds. Last year, health insurance for employees that were funded out of a particular grant, as well as the cafeteria fund. Their health insurance was paid out of those funds directly, but after reviewing it at the close of the fiscal year, it'll be better if that health insurance was paid directly from the budget in order to allow that grant fund and the cafeteria fund to be more self-sustaining. It gives them a better better use of their funds for other things, especially the cafeteria fund, it will allow it to be more self-sustaining, and pay for the health insurance out of the operating budget. But really, it should be paid for anyways. So that 360, 567 is essentially a shift from paying health insurance out of those funds to now the general fund. For the Council on Aging operating, $31,000 is being appropriated to fund a few items. $21,000 will fix the wall that divides a large room at the senior center. The motor needs to be fixed in that wall, and that's a cost of $21,000. 7 windows need to be replaced in the older section of the building for $4,800. $2,000 to purchase a new snow blower for the Council on Aging. $2,000 to fix the walk-in refrigerator at the center. Under the police capital outlay, $28,735. Funds will be used to purchase a new software and training platform called Laser Shot to allow the police to do their firearms training at the station in the basement. The ability, capability, and availability of the Sheriff's Department's trailer that they normally train out of has become very difficult, and their training requirements need them to train more often than they can get access to the trailer. So these funds will allow them to purchase their own platform to do firearms training. Approximately $6,000 of the $28,000 will be used towards the 4th new cruiser that they plan to buy. We funded 4 cruisers in the budget in FY16, but because the price increased by the time we went to purchase the cruisers, we only purchased 3, and we're waiting till this time we need to get the remaining funds to purchase the 4th cruiser. Fire salaries needs to increase $118,117 because of a variety of items. First, we have 3 firefighters who planned on retiring and decided not to, so we need to fund their salaries for the entire year. So that increased the fire salaries budget. When the fire department's budget was put together, there was 1 salary missing from the budget, which we need to appropriate into the budget this year. That was inadvertently left out. And there were several firefighters who had benefits that were owed to them that were not included in the budget. There were, I believe, 7 or 8 who had longevity payments coming to them that, again, were inadvertently not in the budget, as well as 2 individuals who got their, or received their bachelor's degrees who now should be paid for those. So the total increase, once we went through the budget for the fire department, was $118,117. In fire operating, we're looking to increase $31,000 for 2 items, $24,000 to purchase a new channel 2 repeater for the fire department for the radio system, and $7,000 to fix the south fire station roof to help with ice dams that they have in the winter. Computer services capital outlay, $10,000. Funds will be used to purchase new computers throughout the town, replacing older computers that have Windows XP on them. Town Hall Annex capital outlay, $10,000 to fund new carpeting in the Town Hall Annex. Last year, we appropriated $10,000 to install new carpeting at the annex, but that was not enough money, so we need an additional $10,000 to complete that project. Community and Development operating budget, $75,000. The funds will be used to conduct 2 studies for the planning department and the conservation department. The first is an update of the town zoning bylaws, and the second is to update the town's open space and recreation plan, which is due to expire and needs to be updated and renewed in order for us to access state grants in the future. DPW administration salaries, $10,313. Those funds will allow a part-time clerical position to go full-time, and also pay for a vacation buyback for an employee who retired this year. DPW administration capital outlay, $10,000. Those funds will go towards some renovations down at the DPW facility once Community Development Department moves to the town hall. And then finally, fleet maintenance capital outlay, $132,000 to purchase equipment for the DPW. It'll purchase a Bobcat and a utility vehicle for the fleet maintenance.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
A utility vehicle for the fleet maintenance department. That's it.
Open it up. Are there any questions from the finance committee?
I have a few, on Article 1, Mr. Chairman, through you on the operating account. You pretty well explained that for the Council on Aging. All of that's going into that building.
Yes.
If you allow, Mr. Chairman, my next question is, and I can probably ask it under the other article, for the new positions that are being advertised right now,
Yes.
nutrition, et cetera, where is that money and where is it coming from? If it's not in this Article 1,
There are 3 positions.
that are advertised presently, yes.
The nutritionist and the activities coordinator are being funded through the Council on Aging formula grant.
I'm sorry?
They get a formula grant each year,
Okay,
and it's funded from there. The outreach coordinator is already funded within the budget. That just provides for more of a range in the salary for that position. But that's already funded in the salary budget. of
the
council.
outreach worker.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a, but I noticed, Richard, Mr. Chairman, I noticed they're all in the same salary range, and pretty much hours, you know, it
Yes.
goes from $14 to $16
Correct.
per hour. But there's one employee that's gonna be working 19 hours.
Mhm.
Do we still have a policy in town where if an employee works more than 17 and a half hours, they're entitled to health benefits?
It's 20 hours. It's both a policy in the town and state statute. 20 hours, you get benefits.
Are we abiding that, or do we still have some employees that are working 17 and a half hours?
Yep. We have some.
And getting health benefits?
They may.
I'm looking at the parity,
Yeah.
that's all.
Not on the town side. I'm not sure about the schools, but if they did, when we had the agreement with health, on the health insurance plans,
Yeah.
they were grandfathered in, but now it's 20 hours.
Okay.
We don't have anyone.
So then there's no one in town.
Okay, I'm just, was concerned about it, because I remember the
No, you're
parity.
right. We used to have a 17 and a half hour threshold, now it's 20 hours.
It's 20 hours, because I thought the 19 hours was kind of strange.
Yeah, no. Well, we didn't, yeah, the 19 hours was not to, because we hit 20, then benefits, so we stayed at the 19.
Okay. I want to thank, the information we got on the laser shot, Mr. Chairman. I'm satisfied with the financial part of that, and the chief's response to our question. Through you again, on the Article 1 fire operation, I know we discussed this at our last meeting. Why do we need a second repeater?
One, I think, and I'll let the chief speak to it, but I think the current repeater that we have is past its useful life.
Yes, the GE repeater that we have at the North Fire Station is out of commission and cannot be used. And so we currently have no Fire Channel 2. It was never built out, and that repeater had to be taken offline, which we had the state come in and evaluate the equipment. So this repeater will replace that. Right now, we're using the district Fire Channel for our Fire Channel 2, but it's not a long-term solution. This is.
Okay. Does it have any impact on the present microwave system now that we have working with the radio boxes, et cetera?
It will do nothing to the microwave system. It'll be a standalone repeater, and it's going to be coupled with an existing antenna on the Ames Hill tower that's already up there, so we shouldn't have to do any tower work. We're just going to use a couple and use existing antennas to come off of this antenna, off this repeater.
Are we getting a new frequency on that repeater, on the high band?
on the high band radio?
We're already licensed for the channel that we don't have the active repeater on, so there's no additional licenses. We're just going to use the channel that we're already licensed for.
So there's no additional cost with regard to it for the FCC, et cetera. Okay, thank you. On the same article, the capital outlay for the DPW, $132,000. The Bobcat and the fleet maintenance vehicle. Could somebody describe to me what we're getting on a fleet maintenance vehicle?
It's essentially a vehicle that our mechanics can go out on the road and fix vehicles if needed, carries tools, it has a utility box. That's essentially what it is. Right now, they don't really have a good vehicle to go out on the road and fix a vehicle or go get parts or things like that. So it's the type you would see for any type of mechanic that would go on the road with. It's not a tow truck, it's not anything like that, it just has a utility.
Pen truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Will it have again, not seeing the specs and what Superintendent Mr. Gilbert is thinking about, but will it have air compressors? Will it have a power unit? Will it have, I was hoping to see some more information on it. For that kind of money, I know what a Bobcat costs, because I deal with that in construction. Will the Bobcat come with additional attachments, like the snow blower, the sweeper, etc.? Or just is it coming with a front end bucket, and then we have to go buy the accessories? Again, I'd like to see some more specification as to what we're buying for $130,000. I think what's in the article, in fairness to our town meeting members, we should at least be able to describe what we're getting. And I know you did a cursory, Richard, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Just out of courtesy, to our town meeting members.
And I agree with you, we get some more information for town meeting, just the explanations we have in the warrant, we're limited to 100 words. So we have to be really careful of what we say and how we say it, and you can't be promoting the article, so to speak, just explain it.
Right.
So for town meeting, we can get more information.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the chief giving us the detail from the police department on the laser shot and stuff, because it certainly helped me to evaluate, the need for it, and the expense, high expense, but I know it's gonna help our public safety officers, as well as the radio. Second repeat is gonna help, the fire response, etc.
On the Bobcat, it will come with not only the bucket, but a broom on it.
The broom, the sweeper, yeah.
And it will come with an asphalt planer when we do patching, to patch.
Grinding, yeah.
Yep. Those are the only attachments that will come.
I mean, the expense on a Bobcat is about $9,800 to $11,000.
Yeah, actually.
So if you look at $120,000, $119,000 for a panel truck for the maintenance department, hopefully it will have everything I alluded to, the air compressor for tires, to service the vehicles in the field, because I know what we have now, Richard. I mean, it's a Rube Goldberg type of setup.
Yeah. The Bobcat's estimated to be $67,000.
I'm sorry?
The Bobcat, 753 Bobcat, is estimated to cost $67,000.
That's a heavy duty unit.
And the Dodge pickup for the fleet, that type of vehicle is $65,000.
Did we buy a Bobcat last year in the water sewer division?
I don't believe so. We bought a mower that can plow snow and cut brush on the sides, but it wasn't a Bobcat.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just one question. The revenues that we're talking about here, increasing these budgets, those reflect recurring budget increases in these departments?
They do. The increases in revenue such as state aid and our local receipts, motor vehicle, actually all of our receipts throughout. They're all recurring revenues, which is why I was able to increase the budget. If they weren't, we wouldn't be doing this.
Thank you.
What was the amount of the state aid increase?
1 second. There was an increase in state aid. Right. It was, I think it was over $300,000 in additional revenue. And that was a combination of revenue and a reduction in our local estimated receipts. I find it here somewhere in this report.
I'd like to add thanks to the fire chief. He came into our meeting the last meeting we had and gave us information about the repeater as well. So we got that information. And with that, I'll look for a motion on the article.
Mr. Chairman, before you do that, state aid, the net state aid is $371,000. We had an increase in revenue of $94,934, and our state and county charges were $259,000 less. So the net increase was $371,000.
I'll make a motion to adopt Article 1, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous vote. Move on to Article 2, Town Manager.
We settled the contract between the town and the International Association of Firefighters. It's a 3-year contract. It's consistent with the other contracts that we settled this past year in town. It's a 2.5% raise each year for a 3-year term. Longevity increased in each of those years by $100. The second year of the contract, their uniform allowance will be rolled into their base pay since they get a check now for it.